All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got the review of the May 29th, 2024 patch notes. There's a lot going on in this and a couple of pretty great reworks of a couple of heroes. So let's just dive right into it and start at the beginning and review this together. So first of all, mid lane economy. The mage is meant to be roaming and ganking top and bottom lanes, so kind of leaving the mid lane. And what they're seeing is the mage is getting behind in levels and gold because the minions aren't giving them enough. So what they've done is they've increased the creeps in the mid lane by 10% for the first 4 minutes to give the mage a little more economy when they go back to their lane. So that's a good change for mages if you are a mage main. The next thing, they've adjusted some of the new support equipment. The Magic Eye, apparently this is a sleeping giant that I've missed. Magic Eye apparently has been quite powerful. It reveals people for 4 seconds, but then also does damage. And as you can see here, the damage that it does was not intended. And we'll see later on when we talk about Xanus that in combination with this damage, that was a kind of a big deal. So what they've done is instead of having damage for 4 times at 6%, they've changed that to 2 times at 8%. So hopefully they're going to make this Magic Eye ability more for the vision part than the damage part. The Surge ability, this is the one where you and your teammates get acceleration for a time. It's not being used. It says it performs poorly in all segments. So what they've done is reduce the cooldown from 100 seconds to 75 seconds. So maybe people will be able to use this a little more often to help their teammates move around the map. So that's a couple of adjustments that they've done. Now we get to the fun stuff. Quality upgrade for Diao-Chan, but I'm going to keep saying it Diao-Chan because it's built in at this point. So they think she's performing poorly in all segments. Honestly, I've always enjoyed playing this hero, but for the current battlefield environment, her ultimate move seems too cumbersome, and this is totally true. She has to stand still and activate her ultimate ability, and you can get knocked out of it so easily. And you think you're got your ultimate activated and you're doing damage, and because there's so much activity going on, you can't really tell that you've been knocked out of your ult and you're just standing there dying. So it's kind of dumb. But so they've revised the ultimate move so that it can be cast and she doesn't require channeling to stand there. It's going to help her flexibility. At the same time, the old version of Diao-Chan's shield had too many redundant mechanisms and lacked performance and feedback. After this iteration, Diao-Chan's shield effect will be more intuitive. In addition, we've also provided her with a new enhanced normal attack, which we hope will make up for her shortcomings in wave clearing ability. And that's also true. Her basic attack was pointless. All of the damage was S1, S2. This actually feels really nice in the practice rounds that I've done. We hope that the revised Diao-Chan will be active in the legendary battlefield again. Her passive, after she escapes battle, she gains an ice shield. Targets that cause physical damage to the shield will be subject to a cold effect, so it will reduce their movement speed by 50% and attack speed by 20%. The ice shield breaks, causing magic damage. Diao-Chan's third normal attack, so that's part of her passive, and you can see it whenever she's out of battle. That blue shield pops up around her. Well, it's blue because of the skin that I was using. I'm not sure what color it is for her normal skin. But this also is important, her normal attack. Her third normal attack turns into 3 ice picks, causing additional damage. And that's a really nice addition. You can see a big difference in the damage that she does just with basic attacks. And so then more about her passive. When she uses a skill or passively enhanced normal attacks to cause magic damage, it will also apply a cold effect. So all those are great changes to her passive ability. Pretty great. Skill 1, Chilling Frost, not too much has changed with it. It's got a 6-second cooldown with reduction in levels. It causes a slow effect and a little bit of damage, and it reveals the casting area and the vision of the target hit for 2 seconds. So she can reveal targets in that are hiding in brush with this ability as well. Skill 2, Diamond Dust. This is a pretty big change because there are no longer 2 stacks, but the cooldown has been reduced. So because you don't have 2 stacks, you always used to freeze an enemy and then you had that second stack, so you could time it. So just as they were released, you could freeze them again. You won't be able to do that exactly, but you do get a lot more ability to cast the S2 because the cooldown being so much lower. So you don't have 2 stacks built up, but it still feels better in the long run. So she freezes, causes damage, and while they're frozen, they get additional damage as well. And then the ultimate 35-second cooldown, which is reduced by levels, and summoning a blizzard will reset the ice shield. So again, she can cast this ability instead of having to stand there. So great rework for Diachan. Again, in my testing, it felt really good. I think you guys will enjoy how she works now, and maybe some of the people that I talked to felt like she was a little too slow for the map that we have and the hero meta that we have, but maybe being able to cast that ult and kind of stay in the back lines a little bit better will make her a little more viable. So good rework for Diachan. Zenial gets a little bit of a rework as well. It says he's currently performing well as support, but his Slayer lane is average. So what they've done is a couple of things. So his passive, he gets stacks of a holy brand every second, up to 4 stacks. And when he uses a normal attack, the mark is consumed and deals additional magic damage. When the mark is stacked 4 times, Zenial's next normal attack will become a ranged attack. So he gains stacks every second, up to 4 stacks. And then his next normal attack uses those stacks. So if you're in basic attacking a lot, you won't notice this, but it looks like if it stacks up, if your first attack that you use will be a ranged attack. So that's pretty neat for him. Skill 1, Divine Protection. Cooldown 9 seconds. This is his shield. He can gain a shield, lasts 5 seconds. It's pretty standard as it used to be. But you can release the shield early and cause that magic damage to hit. Each target hit by the shield, Zenial gains that stack of his passive so that he can use a ranged attack. And then when the shield is broken, only 50% of range damage is caused. Skill 2, no adjustments to his dive ability. Ultimate is pretty different. So now it launches in 2 stages. So you launch your ultimate ability, provides a teammate with a shield, and after 2.2 seconds, it teleports, restoring HP. But what's now new is you can teleport in advance, detonate the shield, and cause this magic damage. Now, I don't think you get the HP restore if you do it early. It has to channel for the full 2.2 seconds, but you can escape a lot better and get to where you're going a lot faster. If you're in a pinch or if you need to get somewhere quickly, you can hit your ult twice. It charges up and then immediately teleports you in. And when the teleportation is complete, movement speed will be increased. So yeah, this is a pretty great rework for Zenial as well. I, again, did just a little bit of testing. It felt pretty good, but I like to try it in an actual match sometimes. So good stuff from this patch for Zenial. Next, Liliana is nerfed. It looks like they have taken the untargetable effect away from her ultimate. It's replaced by Iron Body and 50% damage reduction during casting. She's going to be a little more squishy, a little more catchable, no more untargetable for Liliana. Dirac is nerfed. Not a huge nerf in my opinion. His ultimate no longer blocks bullets from defense towers and bases. I mean, I guess if you'd gotten used to that and you were doing a lot of tower diving, you might want to pay attention to that one. Ishar has been buffed, but it's not too terrible. Furball's resurrection time is 6 seconds instead of 10. Jinnar has been buffed, And again, not a major buff for Jinnar. His movement speed of his ultimate starts at 100% instead of just 80%. Their thought process was that if he didn't have Flicker, he wasn't getting engaged in fights very easily. So they're hoping this will get him in and out of fights better. Xanas has been nerfed. Xanas' performance in all segments is too strong. And with the support item Magic Eye, it makes him even more powerful. So with the nerf to Magic Eye and then his ultimate nerf, instead of a 0.75 second knockup, it's a 0.25 second stun. Hopefully Xanas won't be bullying people too much, diving in, stunning or knocking them up, killing them and getting out. It'll just be a 1/4 of a second stun instead. So Xanas has got a nerf. We'll see how that affects him in games over some time. And then, as usual, bug fixes. I'm not going to read them. A lot of them have to do with Charlotte and how some of the visuals of her moves weren't kind of corresponding to the actual moves themselves. So take a second, pause, read that if you'd like. But the real winner here, in my opinion, is Diao-Chan. I can't wait to get in a match and actually test out those changes. I think it's going to be great. I've been waiting for that for weeks, waiting for the Diao-Chan update. So it's going to be great. Looking forward to it. So that's it for today. Enjoy the new patch, and I will see you guys on the battlefield.